Well, we're live now. We're talking Delaware, and specifically, we want to get off. You haven't heard about this. You haven't heard about the Grotto. You're the Grottos man. Your marriage was started on Grottos.
It was,
which is not a lot of people. Can you start there?
I love Mike. I love his wife, but I do want to stand by my stance. Grottos is not good.
That's fair. How did you meet your wife, bro?
That's not.
So I was
marriage.
Yeah, a place with 28 locations, not good.
Yeah. Right.
So at any rate, my wife and I were both working at the Grottos on Pennsylvania Avenue. She was a bartender, I was a server, and that's how we met. Sparks flew.
You're the one that got the bartender?
Over the cheese.
Yeah.
Wow. Bartender?
He was back there spreading that sauce in a circle.
He's a server. He just tells the people what sauce to put on it.
But I know a lot of Grotto managers. There's quite a lot. So
it's not the first love story to start with free beer.
But speaking of Grotto's managers, there's some recent news. I believe it's from the Main Street location, and you're like Main Street man. So give us a scoop.
Well, there's an undisclosed location. I can't really give you the full address here.
Sure,
but
that's fair.
Yeah, there's word on the street that the
Main
manager there wouldn't know what street it's coming from. The manager has recently been caught with about 23 grams, of cocaine leaving the restaurant, and conspiracy.
I feel like we could have had a great live if we had all those drugs.
But there were more drugs, weren't there?
There was some thought that some other stuff was being sold. When he was caught, it was with the 23 grams.
The big H
of cocaine.
Yeah.
I've heard different things.
The big H or cocaine.
It's been said it's both.
Let's go.
Won't be working.
Let's be real.
The big C and the big H, big Ch.
Grottos came out in the 80s, 90s,
and it's
Grotto's
the best
pizza,
of the 80s, 90s, and today. What are you talking about?
Grottos pizza and cocaine go together like pizza and pasta.
Pizza started in 1969.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
You knew that right offhand. Why do you remember that date so well?
It's in the mission statement.
It's a mission statement. Well, there was just training on it. As a matter of fact, it used to be recognized as starting in Harvey's Lake, Pennsylvania in '67.
Really?
And since then, it was like kind of two sides of a family. And since they've kind of split it up a little bit, so now on the menu, I don't know if it says it on the menu anymore, but it used to. It says it started in Rehoboth in '69.
The Grots and the Toes. Who got together on that?
The Grots and the Toes.
The Grots and the Toes.
Can we get
the
a
Toes
nice?
decided to stay in PA.
Can we get a what?
Nice.
Nice.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I'm here.
Yeah, you want to slander?
Yeah,
this
go ahead and
pizza
slander the name.
further.
Go ahead. The legendary taste. Go right ahead.
I love the family dynamic. I love the story behind it, but I feel like it's probably all watered down by their just generic pizza. That's not good.
I know, and we talk about it often. I don't know why this is always a subject of conversation, but they've found a business loophole to serve something that's so bad that they can grow the company to a multi-million-dollar thing with 28 investments.
I've been to a few conferences, I think, where they've actually talked about that strategy. You brought out something really, really bad, and then it grows, and people will give you money for it.
Like ironic branding. Yeah.
I think Mike has his own opinion about the pizza.
Are you being sarcastic, Mike?
It is. I'm being very sarcastic.
What?
It doesn't matter what I think about the pizza. It's obviously a successful business. So if the pizza was bad, why would it be successful? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, I was being sarcastic too. They don't talk about that at conferences.
No.
Yeah.
And just because you don't like it doesn't mean anything. That's like saying the color purple's stupid. Like,
yeah.
Is the color purple stupid?
That's a pretty good movie.
That is a pretty good movie.
Oh man.
Yeah, Oprah Winfrey. Never saw it.
The color purple? That's a good one. Oprah Winfrey's fantastic. We have the code purple here too in Dover.
And if you work with me in real estate, I'm like the Oprah Winfrey of houses. Look under your chair, you got a house.
Yep, you get a house. You get a house.
I can't give it to you
Are
for
you
free.
giving
That's
away
illegal.
houses? Yeah, I mean, that's what Oprah does.
Why? You can give somebody a house.
If you give me a house, I'll give it away.
That's Mr. Beast. He gives away houses all the time.
Well, he pays for them.
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have that kind of money. I'd have to steal the house, and you can't do that.
Oh.
And for everyone listening, Mr. Beast will shortly be with us today. Pat has promised.
I've never once
Yet
said
again.
that. All of my scenarios with Mr. Beast have all been open ended, and I made sure that I never speak in
So
absolute.
if there were a Mr. Beast like competition, for those that don't know who that guy is, he does like all the like crazy, just like giving away $1 million, blowing up cars.
Yeah.
If we did a last hand, you've ever seen those challenges? Like last hand and Lamborghini gets it.
Stand on this square for 26 hours and don't fall over, and you get $1 million.
Last one to leave the circle.
Fist fight Mike Riches, and you get this house.
And you get a broken eye socket, too.
Comes with it.
Comes with
What
it.
if we just found out that just Mike Riches is just like got hands?
He originated Fight Club.
We're letting you know right now.
We just don't get to talk about it. He has to license those with his insurance company.
I've never been in a fight in my life, so I have no idea if I could fight, to be honest with you.
The people who know how to
he's
fight
being
have usually never
sarcastic
been in a
again.
fight in their
I've
life.
not been in a fight. I swear. What?
I was saying something about, I don't even know what I'm saying. But what I was saying, no, go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
have been in a fight. Fight for your clients.
There you go.
To get them the best deal they can possible.
Not a fist fight.
But let me ask you,
fiscal
if there was a
fight.
competition like Mr. Beast where we said, hey, we got this listing, $1 million. Everyone put your hand on it. Last hand on it gets to list it.
Who do you think's going to win out of the entire group?
That's why I'm asking you guys. No. Us.
I mean, as a
Agents on the team.
as an agent, yeah.
Unlimited time. We were set up for however long this has to go. Empty home. Don't have to worry about fam.
Give me a place that
We're figuring out restrooms. We figured out food. We figured out water. We have the health and safety taken care of. This is literally just how long can you stay away from your normal life, your phone, everything else, to get this list.
phone?
Oh no, absolutely not.
No phone.
I'll be solid.
No. Josh, you're not making me confident about you if we ever did this.
Thinking about all the variables here. So the bathroom food's figured out.
Yeah, we figured that out.
What do you have, bathroom breaks?
It's like allotted time, or
Well, in this scenario, I think there's bathroom breaks. Yeah, you have your every 3 hour or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot and drink a ton of water. And yeah, I mean, no one's gonna die. I'm just saying hypothetically.
Yeah,
You got the whole team.
Yeah.
Who's your top three? Who are you placing bets on? Because Josh, I don't feel like you're putting a bet on yourself
me,
right now.
100% me.
You're putting a bet on you?
I'm giving myself at least 48 hours.
Are you giving?
Now, is this standing?
Do you think
only?
that would go longer than 48
Standing
hours?
Only? Is it only standing? Or?
I think you'd have to get a little Mr. Beastie with it. Be like, all right, for the next 30 minutes, you got to stand on this circle,
Or stand on one
foot.
leg.
or hey, for a little bit, you got to stand on one leg, or you'd
If you
have to start messing it up.
pull-
No one's gonna pull no one's hands
Because you
off or
can't
anything.
sleep.
If you can't,
If
I
it's
can't
just
sleep.
contact-
No, how are you going to sleep?
If it's just contact, or you have
Hand
to have a
on
hand
the home.
I'm gonna fucking tape it.
Can you tape your hand?
I don't know. This is a hypothetical question, and no one's giving me a definitive answer other than you.
I'm going to make it.
You're going to make it in the top three?
Would you make it past 48 hours?
I
Because
think
2
I can-
days.
I can stay awake for 48 hours. I think I could do that. Yeah.
That'd be hard. I don't know if I could do it. Because, again, you're standing. You have to make it standing.
You
know
could
what I mean?
sit.
have to
You
make
could
it
have a
hard.
sitting break.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, next 45 minutes, you could sit.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I mean, if we did this and it was 48 hours this thing went on, you have to at some point say yes. I think it doesn't go 48 hours.
I don't think any of the girls can make it.
no.
Wow, Mike.
You don't think Patricia would?
Patricia would make it.
I think Patricia would be.
Patricia and Veronica would do a lot better than you would think.
I agree with that. I don't know if Heather would be down for it.
Heather,
I
yeah.
can't see Carla.
Carla would be like, I heard him done.
She'd be like, I'm not
I participated. Love Carla.
Oh, Adele. Shit.
Yeah, I think.
Everyone gets their own GoPro mic'd up.
I'm pretty hungry for it right now. I think I'd be a good.
Again, you're not convincing me, man. If this is the pitch, Josh, to bet on you, like if we're raising, like we could do it as a fundraiser too. Like you could have a fundraiser. I'm not donating to your fundraiser right now.
That's fine. I want the competition not.
There's one person that I know that I'm going to outlast, and that's going to be Jeff.
You think he just bows out?
No, I don't think that he bows out. I just think that I'm just going to do better than him.
Oh, if we're just talking about a Vegas bet, who wins?
I
you
really
or
think-
my
I really
dad?
think-
Talking shit about Jeff. I like
No,
it.
not talking shit.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was shit. That was shit. That's okay.
That's like a minus 280. Maybe a minus 480
on Jeff.
on him beating Jeff. Like that's obvious. Like
Yeah.
that's free money.
I don't know.
That's
really
free.
think-
You think my pops would just
If he
secretly just
hears
walk in
this-
like, oh man,
If
I
he
really-
this
hears
is something
this-
silly, and then he just locks in.
my two
Yeah,
biggest
exactly.
pieces of competition, I feel like, are Veronica and Mike.
If you call him old enough, he's taking you down.
Yeah.
And
you
know
think you
you'd
would
just be
survive? You
calling
think you'd
him
be
old the whole
the
time.
longest?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think I could. Yeah.
See, the stoic.
I want you-
Mindset?
I want you right across.
I don't
from
know.
me. If we do this, I want you right across from me the whole time.
Just so I can entertain you.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
keep
yeah.
you interested.
Yeah.
I feel like
we
this
go-
would be interesting.
We go 2 days.
I'm putting my feet in between your feet.
You guys would start losing your minds.
It'd be hard. It'd be really hard.
And I'm telling you right now, he'll make some joke and you're like, and just forget. And just take your hand right off.
You take your hand off the slap. You're
Just just a quick little knee
Just
slapper.
the whole time he'd be like, "Take your hand off that, dude.
Yeah,
Give me a
high five,
Yeah,
dude.
give me a high five. Come on, take your hand." He's like, "You
No,
want
double
this-
high five.
You
Hit
want
my
this
head.
cracker? Take it with your left hand.
I'll
Only
give
a-
you 50%. Just take your hand
This is a
off.
left hand
Yeah,
cracker.
you start
Ooh,
cutting
I think
deals.
we'd have to negotiate that you couldn't do that.
Yeah, sure.
We can't be doing that.
What? Co-broke?
Yeah.
It's like the last two.
Maybe.
If we're the last two.
Well,
I think if you're the last two, maybe we pull a Hunger Games and they're like, we're not going to kill each other.
Give me a sleeping bag and give me the ability to lay down and give me some tape.
I think if you made it to night time, if we
can't-
started at like 9 a.m. on a Saturday or even a Friday,
Yeah.
and you got it to night time, yeah, you should get a sleeping bag.
You can't tape though.
Huh?
You can't tape your hand on it though. You
No?
gotta, if you can
Well,
lay-
you can have a
lay
sleeping
it
bag.
down.
Your call.
But that
I
gets-
think, like-
yeah, but if you fall asleep, your hand's coming off.
If
I mean,
But
I'm
maybe.
fucking weaving my hand in
He's
there.
like under the vinyl. The sellers are watching like, what the
What
hell?
if you fell asleep like this, like with your hand against it? You know?
So we're talking about like depending on the split and all that kind of stuff. You're looking at like 20 grand. On $1 million.
On $1 million property, if it was a 6%, no, yeah. I mean, more than that, it'd be
30,000.
If you're 6%.
Yeah, I'm about to say 30.
30 or 25.
Yeah, it'd be a chunk of change.
Is this self-gen?
No, it would not be a song.
I
Yes,
don't think so.
the fully produced video behind it,
Yeah,
it would be a loft generated. But yeah, no,
Well,
I'd
you're
say
probably
that's to
sitting
say,
around like 16.
Yeah, 15 grand. If you get 3% on your side.
it's more than that too. This one's for 1.42.
Oh, 1.4. Okay, got it.
Yeah, this one's 1.42.
Got a house.
So,
like
got a
30.
house already.
Yeah, I already got a
Yeah,
house already,
yeah, dude.
and we've kind of already drawn up the plans in this book. But
Fuck yeah.
we're just waiting on the right opportunity.
Is that a new book?
No, this is the other book I had. The small one's still drying.
Can you order some pine tar? Get us some pine tar.
Gorilla Glue?
No, just I mean, sure.
Got it.
But I tell you what, we got bigger plans. That one's not my favorite one. We got more logistics rolling around, and one that's going to be a surprise piece of content you guys aren't allowed to know about until it happens.
Okay.
Which is going to be dope.
I can't wait till we mutiny Dover Downs. I can't wait for that plan to come to fruition.
Well, they're already gone. It's Bally's now.
The Dover Downs International
Yeah,
Speedway.
whatever.
The Dover Downs National International Speedway of Racing. Yes.
They didn't want to be
Not
called.
affiliated with NASCAR.
Not NASCAR. They're not.
Not
with NASCAR.
NASCAR.
They're not NASCAR anymore?
Not NASCAR.
Well, they've never been NASCAR.
No.
They've never been affiliated with NASCAR. They're just a NASCAR track that they're not allowed to say that they're NASCAR because they probably suck.
Well, I had
It
my,
was-
had my
it was-
girl Alexis
What's
out
the
there for
difference
state.
between a NASCAR track and
They're Dover International Speedway, and they have a contract to have 2 NASCAR races there. But they themselves are a racetrack. So that's the distinction. Just like Bristol Speedway and Daytona probably aren't
Yeah, they're
NASCAR.
Not, yeah, NASCAR. Yeah, it's owned by them. But
Yeah.
it used to be Dover International Speedway, but they don't want to be called that anymore. Now it's the Dover Motor Speedway. Remember that?
Well, oh, yeah. Why was the reason they didn't want to call it international anymore? Because
Not the
NASCAR's
same-
not
it's
international?
a different company.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole different company.
how was it ever international?
Maybe they had a race in Canada on the circuit.
Well, I mean, the
But Dover.
Maybe a
Yeah,
Canadian
Dover.
guy
It's
once
just a way to name
raced
it. Yeah.
It's just
on the track
Maybe a
Loft
Canadian guy went to
International
the race
Realty
one
Team.
time.
in Delaware.
Delaware is the first state.
Delaware International Real Estate. What's international? What we sell in Delaware?
I still feel like we should just
naming.
say I'm selling the house and just break in. Say I'm
Which
selling
one?
it. No, the Dover International Speedway.
Oh, yeah. Well, now we can. Now we should do that. I want to swap subjects on us real fast, though. Can we do a little bit of real estate conversation?
Sure.
Just a wee bit of it, mix it in?
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts for the coming year? If someone's watching this, I want to put in the title something around like 18-month predictions or 2025 thoughts. Like somebody that's not exactly looking right now, kind of casually in the market, maybe doesn't even know that of recently interest rates and prices are higher than what they've ever been, and now it's kind of like, I'm gonna put my butt in this chair for a little bit. Well, what should they be doing?
This is all speculation.
Yeah,
but-
all of this is. Yeah, none of us have a crystal ball. Ours hasn't been working for years.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, this is all speculation. I feel like we're going to see a small dip closer to summer because there's going to be a speed up in the market because that's when everybody wants to buy. And due to that, because the economy is not ready for it, we're going to see a little bit of inflation as far as home prices. And because of that, by the end of the year, we're going to see really high interest rates, probably higher than we've ever seen. Not that we've ever seen, but that we've seen in the last 3 years.
Okay. Which would mean it would have to get above about 7.5, 7.7.
It'll probably
Pretty consistently.
slap 8.
So you're saying, just to break all that down, because we have such low inventory, and there's presumably not going to be a big surge in said inventory, that because homes are getting a little bit cheaper, interest rates you can now dish, you can get like a 5.75 at least for now, that over the year, interest rates go down a little, buyer demand goes up, price points go up because of it, and with that, and I agree with you, shelter is on the top of the list for inflationary reports, CPI reports, that because of home prices going up again, inflation's a problem again, so the Fed steps up again and says, stop.
Yeah, because we're not ready for it. There's not enough inventory to have the market for homes for lower interest rates. And I mean, people probably hate hearing this, but it's just the facts.
Speculative facts.
Yes.
Yes, and I'd love all of our speculative thought on what's going to go on. I have my take. I can't say that one, if the pieces line up, is wrong. Like
it's what happened the last 2 years.
Absolutely, yeah, you're exactly right. We think we're doing a little bit better, and then the market reacts more aggressively, I think, than at any time in history right now. And maybe it's because TikTok can let everyone know in a split second that things are decent and rates are 6.8. Everyone floods, and then boom, we got to go back. What do you think, Josh?
I'm sorry, before you get there, what's interesting about that is we start thinking about the market where we are in terms of that happening. Like other areas of the country aren't dealing with the same things that we are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So although that might not govern what happens, obviously, because interest rate isn't based on what happens in Delaware.
Correct.
But unfortunately, if the markets do kind of dip in other areas and these things start to happen, it could make our market worse. Meaning, if the rates go down, if the rates went down, it could be a problem for us in our market, just because you have just way too much demand.
Correct.
For the low inventory.
Everybody wants to move to Delaware.
But anyway, so
But as we've talked about multiple times, if rates go down, that also unlocks a lot of current homeowners that have been waiting.
And hence his buyer demand. I think that's exactly what Pat's talking about.
Yeah, but we don't have enough people that are. You got to still understand that people still have golden freaking handcuffs. Like nobody's backing. Like people are
Explain that. Who are the golden handcuffs again? Just
people that have a sub 4% interest rate. Like
a $1,200 payment on a home that's now worth $400K.
I don't give a darn. I probably am never going to give that house up if I can help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you are, Sally and John who moved in 2021 and got 3.whatever%, but had 2 kids in the last 2 years, and
child
you're
care is
living in a
popping up.
ranch.
Bunk beds.
You said something good I don't want to breeze over because the thought of a macro problem defining our micro problem is something that, that's getting very meta, but you're right. Metropolitan markets, big areas, especially areas where they have institutional buyers that are creeping in, these big LLCs and big companies. Delaware's not seeing a ton of that, and we have that conversation with people all the time of just like, yes, Atlanta, Boston area, St. Louis, like yes, there's those, but not here. If there were macro enough issues in the housing market, they're like, hey, we got the interest rate just have to drop or else things are just going to topple over sideways.
Yeah.
Your theory is then that could increase our demand way too much and do a little bit about what you're talking about. But in what he's talking about, interest rates never go back up because they don't really worry about little old Delaware's market being flipped over. They're trying to fix the macro.
could be exactly
Interesting.
depending on other parts. Now, and we talk about lower interest rate opening up inventory for the people that have these lower interest rates. But how we've talked about it before, how low does it have to get? What's that sweet spot?
I think all the reports are like 5. It keeps going up. It's like 5.3,
The longer- Really?
5.5
Yeah.
is it keeps sneaking up. Of
Yeah.
like when people would be ready to flood the market, sell their low interest rate home, and we've danced in that area, but we haven't gotten damn near close enough to.
Dancing in the moon.
Yeah. What's your speculative take on next 6 to 8 months rounding out the year? Someone's sitting there twiddling their thumbs, thinking, "I can't move now. What's the world going to look like in a year? What am I going to be seeing?"
Well, I think a lot of the stuff that we've been paying attention to and hearing from experts is that this year is going to be a pretty stable year as far as rates and inventory goes. What we're seeing now is what we're probably going to see through the year. And piggybacking off the last point, I think a lot of those people that are waiting for another golden window, they're eventually going to get.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
The people that bought during the golden window did not know they were in the golden window.
Absolutely.
And every single time that happens, that's the case.
Yeah.
Like, I remember having the conversations 2018, USDA loan, $180,000 house. And we had to go see 20 of them before they eventually said, I'm going to rent. Is anyone doing that today? No one would do that today. They'd be like, give me all of them. I want all 20. Let me figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
So, but no one knew at that time.
Yeah.
It's just, the realtor wants me to buy a house. They're a salesman.
And, I think if we spend another year or maybe 2 within that 6 to 7% range, even if it gets into the 5s at some point, like people are going to get to the reality of this is the housing market. Yeah, this is what it is. It'll never get back down below 3%. It'll never get back down below 4%.
But you're also saying in your take, which again, speculative, is rates don't go aggressively high to correct anything or aggressively low, that we kind of just sit in this low to mid, maybe even high 6s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like rates are going to eventually stabilize in the high 5s.
High 5s.
I don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, it could be like a 2025 thing maybe.
Yeah, but I feel like that's when rates are just going to be like, all right, market's okay, we're okay, everything's okay. High fives.
And to be clear for anyone listening, if you're watching Jerome Powell or don't even know who Jerome Powell or the Fed is, that's fine. They ultimately don't control the interest rate. They control the large-scale investors' mindset around where they should be placing their money. And when we are in a place where Jerome says, hey, things aren't that solid, we're going to keep things tight, that's also telling investors who are investing in either 3, I think it's 7 or 10-year bond. I can't remember the length. It's based off the length of time, the 10-year bonds being the longest. And when the money's there, things are good. Because America's like, we got long-term money. Short-term is when things aren't as good. They can get a better return when things pick up, and then the country has to be a little bit more hesitant. And you hear lenders talking about they're cooking or prepping their rates. That's not happening anymore, which is good. But at the same exact time,
well, because there's no predictions.
There's
nobody has any idea.
That was the other thing. There's just no real idea on what goes. So that's why I kind of like your take on maybe things do just kind of settle in, stay where they're at.
Yeah.
You kind of gave a half take.
I think mostly with Josh, I just feel like we're kind of here for the year, for the rest of this year. It'll fluctuate between 6.5, 7 1/8, and it'll just kind of, there will be less sales. There won't be a whole lot going on. But I feel like what we're going to see the rest of the year is a lot of what we're seeing right now, which isn't much of a take or a prediction. But I just don't. Again, they talk about lowering rates, which really doesn't happen. They can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want about what they're going to do, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. And they try it, they see what happens, and it kind of fights them a little bit, and they have to go back up. So it's just not a whole lot.
It's like maybe a lot of people don't know this, and we talk about it often, but we just finished the third historically slow month for Delaware specifically, but I think that's not uncommon maybe in the country. And
can I define that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, quick nerd.
Yeah.
So on average in Delaware, we close a month historically like anywhere between like 1,500 and even 2,350 homes within a month. Yeah. You can look at numbers, back to 2012 all the way up. Since COVID, those numbers all got wonky. Now, the past 3 months, as we sit here in March, February, January, and December, all 3 of those months, for the first time ever, each one was below 1,000. One of them, I think it was January, was below 800. So we're 3 straight months under 1,000. Yeah. It just kind of puts in perspective. And I think the month that we brought up at the meeting, I forget who spotted it, was that April 2020 was the last time in a slew. You can look at the numbers, all 4-digit numbers, and this one little 3-digit number is like 949 homes were sold April of 2020.
Month after shutdown.
1,300 in May 2020. Exactly. You remember that world? No one wanted to show their home. No one's trying to sell their property and move. No one's trying to do any of that. But yet we still were getting more sales in those months than the past 3 today.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of puts in perspective. I can't tell if that's what you were going at too, but the market's slow.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yep.
Chilly.
Mom. I bet you in April and May of this year, we're going to see a large uptick because the new Delaware State Housing Authority programs jumped out and put a lot more eligible buyers out in the mix.
I fully agree with you. That combined with spring market. Little uptick in inventory, too. There's a little uptick in coming soon at this moment.
I just feel like a little bit more flippers are just like, the people that knew about it and they're paying attention to what's going on, I feel like that's going to be the price point that people are going to be going after because they're the ones that get the subprime rates. Based on depending on what program you can get, and you don't have to come with as much money to the table to close.
That's the investor no one should be mad at. The residential mom and pop home flipper. That's a perfect person for a market like today when we need more inventory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's you.
Come on, Mike. Let's go pick up some more.
I agree. And some of those times you're taking homes away from first-time home buyer types that can afford those, but most of the houses that they're flipping are not livable.
Exactly. You're taking a home that otherwise isn't inventory. Yeah. And now making it mortgageable for a first-time home.
But also what you're doing, the flip side of that is you're putting houses on the market that's then driving the prices up. It's driving the comps.
Deservedly so.
Mm-hmm. Deservedly so. I get it, but it's still affecting the comps. I mean, I had sold a flip and settled this last month, and $635 for a pretty normal residential neighborhood in North Wilmington, which is just crazy to me.
Well, I'll round it out with price. I know you got to dip out of here, too. I think we're past your buzzer anyway. I see a little bit more of what you guys are seeing. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll be honest. The people that I'm closer to in the national real estate side are actually really bullish on 5s coming this year. The mid to high 5s are on the horizon.
It's going to mess us up.
I mean, that's the debate is okay, how long do you fight it? How long do you stay in the air trying to fix this? Why don't you just land the plane?
Yeah.
Let everybody, as they say, have sex and buy cars again. Like, it's just everyone's pent up. Everyone's mad. Everyone's frustrated financially. Why not? Because quite honestly, a lot of economists see the dollar just hyperinflating over the next few decades anyway. It's almost like they're holding back the floodgate. And if you let it go, the theory is income eventually, with some pain at the front, starts to match pace. It's not quick. It takes time. But the longer you artificially try to make things bad, it just frustrates people.
We're just still trying to like recoup from giving away like trillions of dollars.
6 point something plus trillion.
Well, it feels like everything since shutdown, really, everything has happened outside of increasing income.
Absolutely.
And
because all those companies had the ability to pay less, get money back from the government, charge more for products,
and
for the convenience,
a lot of them.
downsize, exactly. A lot of them had the most profitable, and with inflation happening, a lot of these inflationary things that were affecting, like, for example, housing and power and all these things led to charge. A lot of the stuff that started raising, like, for example, there's a story about, like, how certain things in the industry, like blueberries, I don't know the logistics around getting blueberries into food line, but a lot of times the blueberries, that supply chain stayed good. But blackberries got jacked up, and so they had to raise their prices in lieu of that. But blueberries saw that blackberries raised their prices, so blueberries raising their prices too. They didn't have any jack up in their price line, so they're just now more profitable.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with so many companies. Were just like last 3 or 4 years, most profitable of their company's history, because they just could raise prices. And now you're not going to see Oreos or Charmin or Kellogg's lower their price after they've risen it.
Yeah.
In fact, Wendy's just came out and said that they're going to like slowly start upcharging. They can't.
Different times of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They basically admitted that their model's not nearly as profitable because they haven't risen their prices as much. Because Wendy's, if you look at like a graph, used to be one of the more expensive fast food spots, and now they're actually just kind of on par. So they're admittedly not as profitable.
It's because they never want to freeze their beef.
Well, I appreciate them for that. Last closing thoughts for, again, anybody sitting twiddling their thumbs thinking, this is kind of depressing.
If you're north of the C&D Canal, talk to Josh and Mike, and if you're south of that, call me.
I don't think it's depressing.
What a pitch.
I don't think it's depressing.
What a pitch.
I think that more than anything, at the end of the day, it's just settling into what an actual, stable, accurate real estate market for this area is. And I know that rates are still higher than anyone would want them to be. But as far as supply, demand, a lot of people are comfortable. It's going to be hard to get into those high demand areas. And I think, like we talked about, that golden window is a very rare opportunity for a lot of people to do something that was before that and now a difficult thing to do.
If you don't want to miss the opportunity like you did in 2019 when you could have bought a house and then gained 30% of equity in like the next couple of years, then just buy. I mean, if you can do it, do it. It's always going to suck. You're always going to be biting a bullet, but I'm here to at least try and help.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a house, buy a house. I mean, it'll be biting a bullet. You have to see if you can afford it based on what you want or need. But hey, renting's expensive. Everything's expensive, unfortunately, and this is going to be expensive too. But real estate's always going to go up. There's going to be some ebbs and flows of the market over the years. We don't know when or if it's going to go down. It probably will at some point, but overall, it's going to keep going up over time. So it's always going to be a good investment. And as we know, there's an opportunity to refinance if the rates should go down.
And if they go up, you're going to be happy that you bought it at a lower rate.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people that bought at 5.5 thought they were getting a low rate.
Exactly. If you buy now and then it goes up to 9, you're like, man, I'm really thankful that I bought when I did, instead of fighting it now. But
there are ways to get below 6% rates if you are in the right position, at least for a lot of first time home buyers out there.
Yeah, I think programs like that will continue to come out because it's needed. So, all right, great job, y'all.
see you guys.
Yep, here we go. Go team.
Go team.